Welcome, everybody. It's the All American Prepper, or as my buddy calls me, the Full Throttle.
That's right, Full Throttle. What's going on, Full Throttle? How's life?
Oh, crap only. Well, I feel very important. Every time I leave the house, I have an entourage following me around. So, I feel like the president.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm the most protected man in the country right now because who's going to do anything to me with a caravan behind me of armed people?
Yeah, there you go.
They wait down the road for me to pull out, and then here we go.
I just keep an eye peeled, You got to keep an eye out for them.
Shit, it's harassing at this point. It's like a terminology called game trying to think. Game stalking, gang and stalking. It's not stalking gangs, literally. It's like, I got all these, and they're just trying to put on the pressure, and they're making my dogs bark all night long. They're doing everything to deprive me of sleep.
Yep.
Because, they can make all the mistakes they want. I just made one, and I'm in big trouble. But it's not my first rodeo. Woo! So, I got a lawyer on speed dial. And I want to thank the women from Ladies Not Live, by the way. I have a horse. Okay, I got a horse. And this stuff right here is really helping my horse out a lot, man.
Wow.
Yeah, it really is. It's helping my horse out a lot. I'm quite the stud. But anyway. Huh? Oh, yeah, I'm quite the stallion. Yeah, there you go. Quite the stallion. Yeah. So I will say that this stuff is working great on my horse. It really is.
Good.
Because that's why I've been out for a while. At first, I thought it was strep throat, but oh no, it was way worse. But anyway.
No kidding.
Such is life, as Ned Kelly would say.
Yeah, it happens. Life happens all the time, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, it does. But yeah, what you had something you want to discuss today?
Oh yeah. Just talk about court systems and about how people's narratives in court systems sometimes are what they are just to serve themselves. That's really it. Just how there's people who are sworn to uphold the law, but they're crooked as a fence post. I guess a lot of it really comes down to, I don't know, love Trump or hate Trump. He's definitely shaking everything up right now, isn't he?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Hey, look at there. Thank you so much, Surviving Behind Noble Lines. Look at that there.
Nice.
Jack.
Nice.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you surviving. But that's the truth. I mean, like him or hate the guy, he is definitely shaking everything up, especially with like all of these different deportations, and then judges trying to overturn his decisions, and like, man, he definitely came right out of the gate full throttle, didn't he?
Oh yeah! Hey, look, we got another one. Survive Behind Noble Lines.
Nice. Wow.
I got good people. I got good people on this channel, man. That's why you're here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's why I wear these hats. Save the horse and ride the cowboy, ladies.
Yeah, right.
It's required when my wife comes to the bed to put on the boots. But yeah. So yeah, because I'm have no charges pending or nothing, man. Nothing. But how much money are they going to spend on somebody like me that literally, I'm coming off my PTSD meds. I'm literally staying home. And then when I just get overwhelmed, I just get on my bike and ride. And I'm not riding under the speed limit to be suspicious. And I'm not going over the speed limit to give them a reason. So, and that kind of sucks, damn it.
Yeah.
I like to go full throttle. They're just,
Well, you got to find yourself a place in Mexico. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, go find yourself a nice secluded place in Mexico and just open her up. That's all.
That's what that's what a founding father from the bike club says. You know, he's like, I can't make it up there, man. He has to live in Mexico because he can't make it down here. He can't stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
He can't. I think that's part of the reason why they're on me, but you know, it is what it is. You know.
Yeah, that's right. Surviving America, love it or leave it.
America.
I'm fine with that. I am. I'm fine with that. You know, if people don't want to live here, please, by all means, leave. I personally only want people in this country who want to live here. Why would you want someone in this country that doesn't want to be here? They're going to be miserable, and because they're going to be miserable, they're going to make your life miserable. So why? Why?
Exactly.
Right?
Why? And that's a good question, you know, because there's people are motivated. So that is what I always ask myself. Well, if you don't like it here, why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, I'm watching you. You must be up to no good, man. Why else would you come here? To cause chaos and destruction is all I can figure. So, and if you're here to cause chaos and destruction and hurt my fellow Americans that, you know, citizens, that's a bad situation to put yourself in, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I piss excellence in red, white, and blue, so don't mess with my fellow Americans. You know. But these jackbooted thugs, you know, man, I'm getting tired of this shit.
Yeah, I know, man. That's rough. There, you know, I had something kind of similar years ago. There was like this big investigation going on, and because Pennsylvania is a commonwealth, and it was something called a grand jury investigation, they were able to, like, basically it's what I refer to as a witch trial. And like, this is another thing that I have a problem with, because it is a witch trial. AAP, if someone said that you were doing something illegal, right? Say it was me. Say Jack Walls said that Full Throttle's doing something illegal over there. And then two of my buddies said the same thing. Well, guess what? You get a letter from the state, from the Commonwealth, saying that you are the target of the investigation. Just based off of what three people said. Well, what a load of shit that is, because then you get three people that just don't like one person. That's why I said it's a witch hunt, you know? But yeah, they did this, oh man, at this point, probably 20 some years ago. And they had pulled in anybody and everybody, any name that got dropped. They were, I mean, just in this area alone, there was probably 1,500 letters sent out. I don't know how many of them were target letters, but they brought in kids, young adults, everything. And they were just trying to scare these kids. They're like, oh, we have pictures of you and so hanging out. And they'd get the kids scared into confessing. That's all it was. Bullshit.
Well,
bullshit. Because no, wait a minute. Let me follow this up, okay? Because that happened, because any of you out there in the comments section can look this up right now. Look up the Kids for Cash scandal. Just go out on Google and type in Kids for Cash scandal. Up here in the Valley, they had this whole grand jury bullshit go on. They sent out all these target letters. There was so many children arrested because of this and charged, and their lives screwed up, that they had to open a new detention center that was privately run, okay? And all it was a cash cow scandal. That's it. They were getting these kids to rat on one another and then throwing them in the clink and then making all of this money off of it. And then it comes out that the whole system was crooked right from the get-go. So yeah, it's bullshit. It is. But anyway.
Follow the money. Follow the money.
My 2 cents by Jack Walls.
Follow the money.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a money trail.
But I'll make a confession, right? I do break the law. The only laws I break is the speed limit. That's it. And, you know, if I get caught, write me a ticket. And I'm not going to traffic court and none of that crap. I'll just pay it. But the last time this cop almost rear-ended me and was pissed. He almost rear-ended me at a red light, by the way. I was leaving as a bouncer from a place, and he wasn't expecting someone to pull out there. He almost ran into me because he was on his computer. I'm at a red light, sitting. And then he holds me there for like 3 hours, trying to just dig. And then after, all his buddies come up and everything. Well, in that particular county, I didn't know my way around. I'm like, look, man, I'm following my GPS. He's like, well, you live in this county? I'm like, I don't live over here. I don't know where the hell I'm at. And so I got to take, but after sitting there for 3 hours and all the other ones left, he's like, well, get out of your car and walk towards me. So, I'll be a huckleberry. So I did. And I saw in his eyes, he was thinking about it. But such is life. That's the difference. I ain't scared. I'm not scared. I don't fear the reaper, man. So, there ain't nobody getting out of life alive. So I want to go out making a statement. That's just the way it is. Since I lost my mom, that's been hard. A lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, this is what I do. Because I've had plenty of encounters just because of the bike club. Bike clubs are being targeted.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're armies, and they're like, oh shit, all these guys get together, we could cause problems if we wanted to.
Oh yeah.
But,
but you guys don't want to,
No, we don't. We don't want no damn RICO charge. We don't want to do that. We just want to ride our bikes and just have a good time. Bunch of old dudes just riding around on Harleys, just having a good time, not bothering nobody.
Yep. Yeah, maybe at the most drive up to Pennsylvania, help out your buddy Jack Walls with his neighbor. I'm just saying, you guys come up, hang out, just an afternoon. We'll do some fishing out on the pond. I'm sure my neighbor will love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
wait till they get a load of me.
Oh yeah, I know.
I got an army, literally. There's that.
Oh, that's funny. So how's your little garden doing?
It's doing. We finally got some rain down here, man. We had raining so damn long.
What?
Yeah. We are borderline. We had a no burn ban. I mean, it was the whole state is under no burn ban. Everybody's yard grass was dead, which I don't get that. Please don't water my grass. Please don't fertilize it. I do not want to mow that shit. But and I eat wild edibles, and they don't need water or nothing. I mean, they just grow. And we got all these people moving down here. You can only put so many straws in a glass. Our aquifer is going to start to get infiltrated by salt water.
Mm-hmm.
And, Florida, we got a lot of limestone we're sitting on, and a lot of that stuff's starting to collapse.
Oh, yeah. That's where all those sinkholes coming from.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of sinkholes in the Gulf now, too, by the way. People don't know that. Yeah, big sinkholes in the Gulf. So... it's not looking good for Florida, but I know the high ground. I know where to go.
Well, what's the highest point in Florida? It's like 453 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, my high ground for me is Central Florida. There's a spot in Central Florida that I go. It's the highest spot in Central Florida. And it's proven to be good because when you're there, if you really look in the sand, you will find seashells and stuff. It shows that's where the ocean came. So,
yep.
And worst case scenario, I'll just get a boat. I'll commandeer a boat.
Get a boat and float north.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get a boat.
Hey, not for nothing, if that happens, get a boat, right? And just come up in the Philly. I'll meet you in Philly. That's a port city.
I'll fight my way up there.
It got to be a big enough boat to put the bike on, though.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Because what are you going to do when you get the dry land? Ride the bike.
And you can lane, with all the cars run out of gas, and I can still get through there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where a car can't.
Not only that, like,
I
I'm
kind of
been
in that situation.
If it hit the fan, right, and it comes down to that, I want a bike. You know what I mean? I want a bike and I want a truck too, but like at the end of the day, you want a bike. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You do.
And a survival tip, if you're in a vehicle, 4 wheels, and you got to get through something, turn around and back through it. Because you can smash up the back of your car. You're not going to bust your radiator. You're not going to tear your motor up. Back through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll ride it on the rims, man. I will ride it full throttle on the rims.
You could literally total a car out by doing that and still be able to drive it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at what happens. Okay, the perfect example of what you're saying there, full throttle, is look at any demolition derby anywhere. Okay, how do they start that off? With their ass ends kissing each other. Bam.
Yeah.
And then it's a free for all, but that's what they do. Why? Because you're going to do the most damage, but still be able to drive.
Yeah. Well, in my misspent youth, I've been a few demolition derbies, but liberated cars and such. But I'm sure the statute of limitations is out on that one. Even a harsh one time, but
what? Nice.
Yeah, it was empty. I mean,
that was going to be my next question.
Yeah, it was empty.
Like what? Hey, full throttle. You taking somebody for one last hell ride? I mean, come on.
Man, I wish somebody does that. Anybody listen, look, take the hearse and take me for one good ride, man, and then show up blaring some good music, some Ted Nugent. And then, I got a list of people that's probably going to show up that I want bitch slaps. So I'm going to hire a professional bitch slapper to smack a few people. And, yeah, there's that.
Well, listen, I don't want to dig into your personal life, but if you're not going to be cremated, all you really need is somebody with a sidecar, right? They'll embalm you, so you ain't going to be stinking or nothing. Just stick you in the sidecar, go for one last ride, right?
Yeah.
And if you're getting cremated, well, maybe someone just duct tape you to a gas tank or something. Maybe that'll be good enough.
Well, that's about the only. Well, I was going to get cremated. That was the plan, but if someone doesn't cremate me by intentions, which has happened to other people, but I want to be buried next to my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's all I want. Just be buried next to my mother. So this is what I've learned in life since I lost my mom. Because this, even today, it's been really hard. Because my mom had this nice little car that she loved, spent a lot of money on it and everything. And it's just too painful for me to have it around and all. So it got hauled out of here today. But to watch all my mother's stuff get toted off and then me putting in the work at her gravesite. So really, instead of bigging the big fancy house and all that, I want to get your gravesite fixed up first. You're going to get buried. Because that's going to be your ultimate vessel body home. And, after a few years, nobody will even be looking at your pictures. And such is life. But I'll be there. I'll be next to my mother.
Yeah. That's right, full throttle. Time eventually forgets us all, right?
Yeah, it does. But that's why you want to do something epic, man. That way. I'm like, damn. They're talking about you for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, they just talking about me half as much as they talk about me now. I'll be immortal.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, I got people making YouTube videos about me, man.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos of me out here, I guess.
No, I'm sure there's a lot of videos of me, but there's nothing to see. I'm not doing nothing, especially when I know I'm being watched. I mean, that's just kind of stupid.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, full throttle. I'll tell you this right now. Um, I know I've been being watched for a long time now, but I have nothing to hide. I come out here, I give my testimony about, the car accident, my recovery, and that's a physical journey and a mental journey. You know what I mean? So it's been extremely beneficial to me for my own recovery to come out here and give my testimony, because through that I've met people that I have personally helped. You know what I mean? I have met people out here that, hey, sometimes they're having a bad day. Either they see something that I posted and it really touches them, or they actually have my number and they text me and they're like, hey, Jack, you want to chat for a little bit? Hey, Jack, you want to go live for a little bit? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. And I come out here and I chit chat with everybody because that's what I do. That's why I was spared that day, to come out here and try to help people and just speak the word of God, and that's it, because again, I'm not preaching to anybody out there in the comments, but like, it's my own journey. Like, I saw what I saw and I experienced what I experienced because it was for me. And the only reason I'm here is to tell you about that. And if you want to hear it, then you're going to hear it. And if you don't want to hear it, that's fine too. You're not going to hear it, It
Yeah,
literally says that in the good book, those who have ears to hear will hear. So
those that has ears, let them hear.
Yep.
But yeah, so this is my suggestion. If y'all have any kind of encounters, plead the fifth. And am I being detained or am I free to go? And then if you're being detained, I want a lawyer.
Yeah.
That's really all you say. Because anything you say can and will be held against you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anything
there really is a lot of innocent people in prison through intimidation tactics.
Yes.
Because they tried to piece me like that one time. Something I was completely innocent of. And yeah, I know they all say that. But I was completely innocent of it. And they were like, well, this is like 40 years if you get convicted, but if you'll sign this paper, we'll give you 9 years. And I'm like, are you crazy? So I went and got a real lawyer because a state prosecutor and a state attorney, the public pretender, they get a paycheck from the same people as the judge. They all work for the same people.
Yep.
So I got a lawyer and he got it all thrown out and dismissed.
Ain't that something?
When if I would have been scared and boogered up, I'll take the 9 years. And a lot of people do that out of fear and intimidation. And I'm not doing it. Like I said, I plead the fifth. Am I being detained or am I free to go? If I'm being detained, I want my lawyer. Because I'm not the bad guy. I'm not. I will give my life for the righteous cause. I will.
Yes, sir.
No hesitation.
Yes, sir.
That's all really any guy like me wants is an honorable death. And no greater gift can a man give than his life for another.
Yes.
That's really all I want. Because I seen the way my mom went. I don't want to go like that. That was rough, man. And I don't want my family to have to watch that. That was rough. That broke me. I mean, it broke me. And that's why I haven't been on YouTube in a long time and all, because I was just so broken. And I've been sick. A sick body, a sick mind makes a sick body.
Yeah. Sorry, I just had to put you guys inside for a minute because it's had like a little cloudburst. It just started raining on me.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we finally got a little rain down here, but man, it's been so dry. It's ridiculous.
What's your temperatures been like down there? Have they been normal or have they been a little bit below normal?
Below, hell, it's been so damn hot down here. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's been
joking.
Oh, it's been like, I swear the devil moved to Florida, man, because it's on the bike at night.
No.
It's like hot. I'm like, oh, no. I'm melting.
What?
And they've been, I'm one of those. They've been spraying all this crap in the sky. And, how could that possibly go wrong? First, they built all these damn solar farms down here. All where we had cattle and we had farms. They got rid of the cattle, got rid of the farms. They got rid of a renewable resource. And they built all these solar farms down here. So what the hell are we supposed to eat, right? And now they come with this genius plan. Let's spray all this stuff in the air to reflect the sunlight back. I just don't see how anything could possibly go wrong doing that.
Did you hear? Now, I have not fact-checked this at all, but I did hear someone say this out here on the streets of YouTube. I heard that what they were putting up there was aluminum sulfate.
Yeah.
You know what aluminum sulfate is? It's that stuff that's in underarm deodorant that people don't like using because it gives you cancer.
A lot. It's population control, man. Population control.
Okay, you want to hear another thing that aluminum sulfate is in? Aluminum sulfate is one of 3 ingredients that one of the major fast food chains uses in their salt on their fries. And I don't remember if it's one of the two big ones. It's either I got a carpenter bee that is literally just like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but he just dumped out a whole bunch of sawdust on me. Yeah, it's either Burger King or McDonald's. They have aluminum sulfate in their salt. It's like salt, aluminum sulfate, and then something else. And that's why their fries taste so good, because you're eating cancer. You know?
It's at this point, it's in everything, man. It's population control, at its finest. They're attacking our food. They're still doing any way they can.
So the reason I was asking you if it was warm or cold down there is because it has been kind of below temperature for the nights up here in PA. I literally just threw more firewood in my basement that I went up and cut last night. I was doing a live up there just cutting some branches and stuff just so I could build a fire at night or in the morning because it's still going down to, I think it was 44 degrees last night. You know what I mean? 44 degrees. Yeah, at that point, you get 2 days like that. The house is a little chilly in the morning, Even if you open up the windows and let it warm up during the day, the basement's still cold. So here we are. It's June, and I'm still burning wood.
And here we are down here melting. I mean, there's so much work I need to do, but it is so hot. I drag one limb because I got to do some tree work here.
Like, I have to wear this because it's too cold.
And, I guess I'm that crazy guy out here because I don't give a darn. I literally walk around in my underwears in the yard doing yard work because it's so damn hot. My head is all peeling up, man, from the sunburn. It's just too damn hot. So, I don't know. I think they're manipulating the weather. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
and trying to, but it's ridiculously hot. I mean, it's been so hot that, thank God, I do live in this little small bunker, and it's well insulated from the outside in, and I use up every drop of my solar power running my air conditioner. Everything else I got in here runs off 12 volts. But my air conditioner and Little Miss Prepper finally, talked me into letting her put a little refrigerator in here. And besides the air conditioner and refrigerator, everything else is 12 volts. But that air conditioner runs so much because it's so hot. And I'm under a tree in the shade. And Man, even my dogs don't even want to go outside, man. And I got big dogs that love to be outside and bark all damn day and all night and any little thing. And it don't help when you got people into my backwoods back there, but right off my property, making noises to make my dogs bark all night. It's really, it's not a good idea to aggravate somebody with PTSD that's like, I'm not taking them damn meds anymore because it's hurting my liver and such. I just can't do it. I just got to deal with it. I got to man up and deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to be careful with someone like that. For real. Right.
But see, it's like they're willing to sacrifice these guys, man. They're willing to sacrifice them to get me. And I'm like, I'm not that important. Come on. I'm not that important. I'm just a man.
It has nothing to do, I guarantee you, it has nothing to do with importance and everything to do with, they're just looking for you to slip it because at the end of the day, you're just a dollar sign to them. If they can nail you with something, you're a dollar sign. That's it. That's all it is. It's a money-making corporation.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And it's really getting out of control, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's been out of control for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
They need to go after the real criminals. I'm not doing anything, man, besides speeding. And I admit that. I go over the speed limit where there's no other vehicles on the road. I ride back roads. Well, except for the ones following me, but they're behind me. And I don't know. I guess if something happens, at least, they're here to help.
Yeah. Help.
Yeah.
It's like saying, the government's here to help you.
That's terrifying words, everybody.
Full throttle. That's why, like none of us have to prep or do any of that stuff, right? Because the government's got our back.
Yeah.
See, I said that with a straight face. Then I started laughing.
Yeah, well, the last time I got searched, they had my back all right. If I would have searched the way they searched me, somebody would have been charged with inappropriately touching someone. And I literally turned around and looked at the guy, and I said, well, the last guy that did that to me told me he loved me. He didn't think it was funny.
I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure he did not. Oh.
So it is what it is, but I'm not a villain. That's the thing. I'm a good guy. I really am. I may look like a villain and I may have traits because I literally grew up around a bunch of criminals, but I couldn't help that. I couldn't help, who my dad went to prison and I couldn't help none of that. That was not, he did that shit, not me,
Yeah.
So it did all these people, just disappearing. And I'm like, I was at home. Y'all were watching me. How could I have done it? And I got cameras all around this property, man. So everything's documented and sent to the cloud, not on the hard drive here they can take.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, how much money are they going to spend? Why don't they go and catch the real bad guys? I'm not doing nothing.
Because they're looking at you like you are the bad guy. That's what I said. At the end of the day, we're nothing but dollar symbols. That's it. If they can listen, this is the truth, okay? I used to write a lot of like different things on LinkedIn. I would just pick different topics. A lot of what I would write was stuff dealing with like what the terrorists were doing or like what the bad guys, how they were doing something, and that was usually the talking point. But through that, I found out a lot about the world. You know what I mean? And when it really comes down to it, if you're paying attention to what's going on, it's scary. It really is. It's really scary, But nobody's really paying attention, And that goes both ways too now. Because, and I'm not picking on nobody, but explain this to me. How is it that they are looking at how fentanyl is getting into this country and saying it's down significantly? It's down like 27%. ODs are down like almost 30% because there's less supply of fentanyl. Well, why is there less supply of fentanyl? I'm guessing it has a direct correlation to some of these illegals that were here because their family's sending them something in the mail and they're opening it and dispersing it that way. Because what else could it be? What else could it possibly be? You know what I mean? That's a large number. You're talking about almost 30%. That's a really, really large number. So what else could that be? You know what I mean? Are you going to tell me it's just a coincidence that all of this stuff happened and all of these things were put into place where these people basically went home? You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't believe in coincidences.
I don't believe in coincidences either because there's no such thing as a coincidence.
No.
There isn't. That's like saying, oh, well, it's luck. No, there's no such thing as luck either. You know, it's either God's will or it ain't.
I had a dog named Lucky. He had 3 legs, got hit by a car. So, yeah. But like I was on that old tiki-taki before I got on here with you, and man, this old girl, young lady, and hesitate to word the car, lady, but she just wanted to be argumentative, and that was her. That's what she does. She goes on tiki-taki and argue with people, and I was like, okay, wait till she gets a load of me. And I waited, and she finally invited him, and my wife has seen it, man, for days. I've been trying to get, and she finally got me on there, and she gaslights people, and she's really good at what she does.
Yeah.
After I spoke for about 3 minutes, she threw me out of there and said, oh, I'm not going to risk my... It's because she had no answer. She had no answer for the things I was saying. And here's another thing. If they want money, they bark up the wrong tree. I'm so broke, I can't even pay attention.
Oh, you stole my line. That's no fair. You can't steal my line. I used to have a T-shirt that said that.
If it cost money to crap, I'd have to throw up. I mean, dude. And everything's so expensive now. I mean, everything, the price of everything is completely out of control.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why I have such a big garden this year. That's why I started a second garden. Literally started a second garden.
That's the way to do it. Because, your second one, you can use that. You can sell stuff, trade stuff.
Yep. And that's exactly years and years and years before I was ever born, right? When my father was a little boy, they had to pay off this farm. And they did so by picking stuff that they grew and selling it at a cart down next to the road. So I was literally thinking about doing the same thing. Got some marigolds, got some whatever, throw them down there for a couple of bucks and just have it the honor system. Now, granted, I'm going to have 3 different cameras on it too. You go stealing something, I'm going to call the cops on you. You know?
Hey, you might as well let them work for you,
Exactly.
They're supposed to be working for us anyhow.
Supposed to.
To protect and serve.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel kind of protected, but... And, I think the only thing they want to serve me is a warrant, but...
Uh-huh.
But I'm not doing that. I'm not going to give them no excuse, That's just kind of stupid to obviously be following me around. And I'm not going to do... I'm not even speeding right now. I'm not even speeding! Which that I'm kind of pissed about.
Oh.
That's the only thing that makes me angry. I'm like, damn it, because I like to go full throttle, man.
Of course.
Why would they make a motorcycle that can go 200 miles an hour if you can't go 200 miles an hour? It don't make no sense to me.
I don't know. Listen. I've had a couple different motorcycles in my life, and I'm going to be honest with you. The one that I had the most fun with was one of the smallest, cheapest motorcycles. It was you're going to laugh at me now. but strictly a 2007. Couldn't be a 2006, couldn't be a 2008, had to be a 2007 Kawasaki Ninja 250F, okay? The 250F looked just like the 600R, like a 88 600R. That's what the 250F looked like, but it was only a 250. The bike weighs 305 pounds. It's 27 horsepower. If you put a set of pipes on it and tweak it, you get it up to 30 horse, but it's only 300 pounds. You could stand on that bike and make it do whatever you wanted to do going around a turn. You know what I mean?
That's fun.
And this one time when I was down in Mexico, my buddy was down there. He's on a ZX10. I'm on a 250, and I'm looking at this like going back up a holler. There's a stream there, and there's this paved road going up right along the stream. And I told him, I said, coming down that, I guarantee you're in front of me. I'll get in front of you. And he laughs at me because he's got he had a Widowmaker. What was the Widowmaker? 2008 ZX10. It was like 180 horsepower to the back tire, and then he had work done to it, so it was close to 200 horse where the rubber meets the road. And he's on this bike, and I'm laughing at him because it's like, I know how much that bike weighs, and it's like, that's fine. All of that power don't mean a freaking thing when you got it down like that and you're trying to go through the turns. You're just dealing with more weight. And here I am. I'm like with, going like this, steering it because it don't weigh shit. And I'm making that bike go like this, and then go like that, and then go like this, and then go like that. And then I saw a point, dude, and I dropped 2 gears because I had the gearing stretched way out. I went up 1 tooth on the front sprocket and dropped 3 in the rear, right? So that's like way out there. I dropped 2 gears and I zip right past him, and I literally hear him. He's like, "Ah!" And we get down the end of the road in Mexico, and he's like, "How the hell did you do that?" I'm like, "Dude, come on. You're dealing with a bike that's like, it weighs, more than double what mine does. Like, what are you thinking? And you're a bigger guy than me. He's like 6 foot something. I'm like barely 5'9", So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was a great little bike. It really was. It really was. So,
Yeah.
I wound up getting one of those for free too. The guy ran it out of gas, and he thought I don't know what he thought, but he just ran it out of gas. The guy wound up giving me the bike. He's like, I don't know. It was found on the side of the road. We contacted the owner. He said he don't want it. And I looked at it. It was missing the starter solenoid. And I'm like, huh. And I shake it, and I don't hear any gas. And I look, and it's on reserve. I'm like, get the hell out of here. I threw gas in the tank, right? Cranked it over until the gas got in the carb. Shot a little bit of starting. Dude, it started right up. I won't say it purred like a kitten, but it started right up, coughed a little bit, and ran. So I got a free bike. No title or nothing, but hey, I'm going to put a paddle wheel on it, and I'm going to have fun up here.
Hey, that's what I call a sling blade moment. Did you check the gas? Mm-hmm.
Give me some French fried potatoes.
Mustard and biscuits.
Yep.
And some potted meat.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love that potted meat, man. I love that mystery meat. But now, have you heard the rumors of what they're putting in the meat of these fast foods, man?
Oh.
Soy green or what the hell ever. I'm like, man. And, there's nothing that would surprise me anymore. I swear, if aliens landed a spaceship right in my yard right now, I wouldn't go, I'd be like, damn, about time y'all showed up.
Oh, literally, dude, if I was you, I'd be like, yo, can you help me out with my power here a little bit now? Because this AC unit's just draining everything.
Yeah.
You got to have some good technology up on that thing. Why don't you plug some of it into this? Come on. Help a brother out. Right?
Yeah. I mean, but nothing would surprise me. I mean, things have gone so weird in our country. It's just weird. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. That I'm like, damn, that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
And what it is, I believe we're having a battle, for the soul of America. It may be what's going on.
Yeah. It's definitely a battle. Might even be bigger than that. You know, some of us may even believe we might be living out the book of Revelations.
Dude,
that's what it is.
You took my line. I do believe that, by the way.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I came to really fully believe that when I was in the rehab hospital. There was a big earthquake like out in New Jersey that I actually felt here in Pennsylvania while I was laying in a hospital bed, all busted up. And I felt that. And there was a couple people that I talked to there. And that's like the moment in time for Mr. Jack Walls when he really started believing that. You know what I mean? Because I'm that guy that was like, well, you know what, God, if you're real, prove it.
And then God showed up.
Yeah. Yep. And I believe I needed to face off death to actually believe that, because that's the thing. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know, I'm not scared of death, because I'm not. But that's not how I'm gonna say it. I respect death. I do. I respect death just as much as I respect life. But I'm not afraid of dying. You know, not with what I've been through and what I've seen, and you know what I've had to go through and what I'm going to have to go through in the future. You know, it's all part of the master plan.
That's what gives us the ace of spades, man. Is we're like, you know, nobody's getting out alive, and it is what it is. And when I go, I know where I'm going. You know, and it amazes me how many Christians beg for life at the end of their life, when I'm like, where's your reward, man? You know, I mean, if you follow the rules, you did the best you could, and when you did wrong, you admitted it. And well, long as charges are not pending, but you know, that's a private conversation between you and the Lord.
Yep.
But now, you know, I mean, nothing's really private anymore. I mean, these dang cell phones, the best spy device they come up with.
Oh, absolutely. And we carry them with us everywhere.
No, some people do.
Yeah.
Like people like me are like, what's wrong with you? Because I got one, that's my wife's phone, you know. I don't have one. I just used Facebook Messenger, which that's all documented.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, that there's an app called Signal.
Mm-hmm. I know Signal.
But don't think for a minute they don't have a backdoor into that, because they do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nothing is unhackable.
Well, you say nothing is unhackable. I mean, writing an old-fashioned letter on some old flash paper, you know.
In cursive.
In cursive, yeah. You don't even gotta write it on some flash paper you could burn. Just write it in cursive. They'll have to find someone that can read it. You know, it's like I don't know, hieroglyphics at this point. I think that's so silly too. It
yeah,
really is,
like this younger generation, we ain't gotta write secret message. We just write it in cursive, man. They can't conquer us. We didn't grow up with no safe space. Your house didn't come home till the street lights come on. I'm really worried for our future, man. A lot of these kids are just so soft, man. You know, I just don't know if we're going to win the next war. And, you know, we have sent all our munitions over to Ukraine. We only got enough munitions to fight for 1 week right now.
Do you know that there's 2 spots in the United States where we make the large artillery, like the 155 millimeter shells? There's 2 places in the United States that actually make the shell casings. Okay. I live right outside of Scranton, Pennsylvania, where they do that. Yeah, that's really something, because I was always like, if I was another country and I wanted to take out one of the munitions, it's right there. No. It's right there. Like, what if they decide to drop a nuke on Scranton? I'm screwed.
But that's one of the first things you do is, you know, take out the munitions depot.
Yeah. It's like, my best bet for here is that the fallout cloud just went in the other direction. You know what I mean? Because the
or
radiation could sit down there. It's fine. It could sit down there.
or if your water table's high enough, um, dig you a tunnel. You just need 3 feet of dirt, I believe it is, to protect you above you and around you.
Mm-hmm.
And some potassium iodide pills wouldn't hurt to have.
Mm-hmm. We got some spots up the mountain.
Some caves. Caves is a good place.
Yep. Yeah. Not
down here in Florida. Good luck. You dig. Normally you dig 2 feet and you're going to hit water, but
I was gonna say 2-3 feet you're gonna hit water.
But not here right now. No.
I really can't get over the fact that you're telling me it's so dry down there and it's been so hot and it has been so cold up here and it's just been raining.
It is so dry and so hot. It is beyond ridiculous. I mean, it's sad. I mean, when I see these guys that has to work outside for a living, I go to them and I'll go, I got to give you credit. You are a real man to be able to deal with this shit because it is so hot. I mean, I've never seen it this hot before. Not like this. And the sky is looking weird. It's just at a weird, hazy. It's just strange, man. Just strange times. Because Florida's always been hot, but it's like incredibly hot.
13 weekends in a row.
Incredibly hot.
Shane, that's a lot of rain. I'm just reading the chat real quick. That's 13 weekends in a row. That's a lot of rain.
We got a little bit of rain in a long time. It rained a little bit.
I'm screwed here in California if we ever get hit by a major CBRNE incident. Surviving behind liberal lines. Literally, that is a brilliant thing to say. Unfortunately, yes. Most people don't know what a CBRNE incident is, but if anything happens, whether it be chemical, radio, you're so screwed. And that's exactly why, because it's California. We had rain last night and this morning. Went to sprinkles and finally clearing. Yeah, it's. Yeah, let me see if I can get this. So, I mean, you can see the sun right there kind of poking through. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like it's actually raining even though the sun's out. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, we got that little bit of rain. That was it. It's been hot. It's been dry. Can't even burn, off anything right now because, a lot of people, this is where when people...
I've been cooking right here.
It's so hot outside, man. You could literally shut something into your car and put it in the windshield and it'll be cooked.
See, I could never do Florida for that reason. It's too hot.
What I do is if it gets, I just jump in my swimming pool, bathtub, whatever it needs to be at the time.
Well said.
And I find myself when I'm out there every 3 to 5 minutes to keep from having a heat stroke, jumping in the bath tube, swimming pool, whatever I needed to be at the time. And I got well water, so there's no fluoride in it. So I got to deal with that.
I'm not necessarily doing a plug, but I'm doing this for surviving behind liberal lines. I don't know if you guys can see this right here. This is actually one of my old work shirts, right? So this company is called Inert Products. If you go check out inertproducts.com, you'll see a lot of their different products that I had actually come up with. Things like different radiological or chemical. Like I used to do, it's all training aids for military law enforcement worldwide. So what I would do is have like a briefcase that if you x-rayed it, it would look like it had real explosive in it or some kind of real radiological thing. And like all of the stuff that was put in it was things that you could go down your local grocery store and buy. Things
Can you
like
show it
silicone
again?
wax. What's that? Oh,
Can,
this? Yeah.
yeah, I just put you on full screen. That way everybody can see it.
Yeah, there you go. So it's inertproducts.com. It's inert explosive training products. But yeah, I had done like everything from explosives to fake guns, like it all fake, all inert, all for training. We had done different stuff to try and like, I don't know, the best way I could word it without saying too much is like catch the bad guys. So the bad guys would be looking for something, and obviously they wouldn't want to use the real thing, so we would give them an inert version of it that would like look and feel and behave just like the real thing, except when it came time to go boom, it did nothing because it was really just paraffin wax and baking soda. You know what I mean? Like here, I'll tell you this one, and this is kind of screwed up, but like the reason that none of us can take water on an airplane isn't because they think you put something else in the bottle. It actually is. It's because they think you put something else in the bottle. Because there's certain liquid explosives that when you put them through an X-ray, guess what looks just like these explosives? Water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's a certain type of X-ray. Like when I say X-ray, right? Everybody thinks it's I just Googled it and screenshot it. Go back later. Thank you for the info, sir. Yeah, no problem. I used to be the project manager there. I was vice president of product management. I had been with the company since the beginning in 2007, and like most of the products you're going to look at are things that I either came up with, helped develop, or I had some part to play in something for the most part. And we've actually, there was a lot of products taken off of there too, but man, I don't even know where to start with all of the different things that we've done. But I'll tell you this, like if you guys remember years and years and years ago, let's say 2000, correct me, anybody in the chat if I'm wrong, but say 2007 or 2008, maybe even 2009. There was a guy who flew in from another country. He was a man of color, and that does matter because he was coming from another country where he wouldn't have been looked at. Came in with explosives in his underwear, and he tried detonating it on the plane, and instead of it detonating, it basically caught fire, and they were able to land the plane safely. Okay, this was on Christmas Day. This was on December 25th. Okay, by December 26th, I had already figured out what he did, had a pretty good idea of how he even had it in the underwear, and literally the next day we had a training product available to sell to somebody if they wanted it, to show what this man had done. Right? That's crazy, isn't it? Especially for someone who has no former military background, being able to do that with his buddy from high school, because that's basically how it started. My buddy pitched this idea to me and said, hey, the bad guys, and again, I'm sorry if this is derogatory and it upsets anybody, but the bad guys over in Sandland are doing a bunch of bad stuff, and they're just modifying household items and re-engineering them to do different things. I was like, really? Well, I've always been good at putting apples and dump trucks together and coming up with something else, So that's basically how it started. But yeah, it was crazy the things that you learn. And then what I had thought was that, and I still want to do this at some point, but there's things to work on. I believe that there's a lot of technology that the bad guys were using for malice intentions, and I'll describe this, that you may be able to use in a end of the world prepper type situation. And what I'm talking about is things like if you had to make I don't want to say a booby trap, but like something to catch an animal, something like a snare, right? But instead of doing it an old-fashioned way, you had some kind of electronic mechanism that was going to dispatch an animal, okay? And you need some way to trigger that. So you need some kind of string, like a tripwire, okay? Simple things like how to make a mousetrap into a switch. So you have that mousetrap that's closed, right? It's not pulled all the way back so it's ready to snap. It's already closed, and you just put something in between it. Well, right here you put a tack, and you attach a wire to it, and then you attach a wire to this part, and now you have a switch, right? 2 wires coming off. As simple as that. I really believe that there's a lot of things like that that I learned that I would be able to come out here and show people, like, hey, you could do this in a end of the world type situation, right down to if you were in a building like this, you know what I mean, and this is just an old carport with some pallets on it basically, but like say you were in a complete survivalist type of way where whatever you've come across now something in the woods and you need to make it your home for a while, you know what I mean, how are you going to fortify that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you don't have to have, like, say you have a booby trap out in the woods. It doesn't have to kill or maim anybody. It just needs to be hooked up to a siren. Someone comes walking by, an animal comes walking by, whatever. All of a sudden that siren goes off, or the pop, or the light, or whatever it is that you want to have to show you to do that. You know what I mean? So.
Well, we will have to do a show and tell.
Oh yeah. We will eventually.
Show and tell. We just
a lot
want
of
to
videos.
show, our best stuff off, just
Mm-hmm.
the easy stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I know how to make a lot of traps.
Yeah, I wish I could zoom in. There's a turkey out in my field that's hiding in my tall grass.
No, I zoom in around on that turkey. Oh boy, deep fry that joker.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what. I got some really good footage. Right when they were strutting around and everything. I got I want to say it's 5 toms in the pouring rain, all standing there. They're not displaying or anything. They're just standing there proud. And there's this one hen just walking around in the rain. Like, why are you guys even bothering me? And they really weren't. They were just following her around. That's it. They did some shorts off of that one.
Man, I'm too hungry to let opportunity like that pass up. I just can't do it.
It's gonna be rough this fall. I'll tell you that.
Now, have you looked at the price of turkeys?
There's during turkey season, they were hanging out in my field because I don't mess with them. I just don't mess with, because really, I mean, for me, wild turkey. Now this is going to change, but wild turkey up until recently to me just really wasn't appealing, other than the breast meat. You know what I mean? But yeah, the price of food is sky high. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's probably going to be a slaughter up here this fall.
Yeah.
Oh, turkey and deer. Definitely.
The price of food, the price of living. I mean, I kind of feel that's what they want, I mean, I know people that are working 2 jobs, and this rent down here in Florida, the price of housing is crazy. It's really completely out of control. And I'm so glad that I live the way I do.
Yeah.
I do. I'm so glad I live the way I do, because if I had a regular home, I couldn't even afford the light bill, man. Before my mom passed away, their light bill was over $400 a month in a trailer.
Why?
Florida.
I just got my power bill here, right? Because I had that. I got a roommate, right? I got someone else here, paying most of the bills and everything. I got the power bill from it was like $168 in the wintertime down to $80. It was like $82 last month. And this month it's going to be even less. Power company probably hates me, but I'm trying to get them set up as efficient as possible, because at some point in the future, I'm either putting a place up here, or I might be moving out of state for a little bit for work and some other stuff. You know what I mean? I don't really even know what my future holds at this point, but I know at some point I'd like to put a place up at the top of this property, and I need to finish getting it set up basically as a tree farm. That way it can stay agricultural. We don't have to worry about having the the field hayed out, because you don't get that many hay bales off this field no more. You know what I mean? I've been trying to reclaim most of it, and it's just, I'm gonna cut the bushes down and just run Christmas trees, and then sell them wholesale. You know what I mean? Or I don't know, maybe I'll have a little thing down next to the road. Like I said, who knows? You know, who knows what's happening with this country tomorrow?
The future is always changing.
So I'm just trying to stay fluid with the times. That's all. That's
really all we can do. You know, that's a big problem. I'm noticing people has had great success following a certain recipe, but now that times are changing, since they had success with that recipe, they refuse to change their recipe to go with the times, and now they're falling behind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you got to change things up because times are changing, things are changing at an alarming rate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's places down here in Florida that I don't even recognize anymore. I'm like, man, we don't have all those orange groves anymore. You know, we don't have all this open land anymore, man. You know what? We got apartment complexes and houses, and it's insane.
I live in PA. He lives in Florida.
Yeah, I'm down here roasting. It's crazy hot.
How does that solar well pump work out for you? I'm just curious.
It works. It works great.
Oh, you got one too?
Well, everything of mine out here runs off solar because I'm not paying. I couldn't if I wanted to. I'm not paying it. You know, like this stupid power company that runs this area, Duke Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they upped the price on everybody's light bills, saying we upped the price because we're going to build a new plant. Well, they said that years ago, and they still have not built a new power plant. You know, and the price of gas has gone down. So, you know, the price of transport stuff goes down, but the price of stuff has not gone down.
No. Well, hopefully it'll be like, you know, as they call it, the trickle down effect, but who knows? I feel like once prices get set to a certain point, even if the cost of fuel comes down, don't mean the price of the product is necessarily going to come down. You know, human nature is greed, right?
Yeah.
So we all know where that's going to go. Oh yeah, the price of fuel's down. Well, it still costs the same for a Twinkie. Well, yeah, it's always going to cost that much for a Twinkie. Oh, and we made it 30% smaller. So now you have to deal with that too. A Snickers bar ain't the same size as a Snickers bar from yesteryear, right?
Shrinkflation.
Yeah, shrinkflation, exactly. I don't know. It's all a joke. None of it matters. It's all materialistic shit in the end of it, you know?
Yeah. Like I said, just if you want to really have a nice home, I would just go around all that and just have a nice gravesite.
Oh, I don't even care about that. Just go find me a nice apple tree somewhere, dig a hole and stick me in it.
Yeah. Well, before my mom passed, it was like burn me and put my ashes around some giggle plant. But
fertilizer, huh?
Yeah. Fertilize that giggle plant. That way you can think of me, you know, while you're laughing.
Oh, that's funny.
But that all changed. That all changed. I don't want my mom out there by herself, you know.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Man, come down here and that puts a whole nother word on that. I cannot drink enough. My wife is like, I'm drinking water, drinking, and I'm sweating it out. I mean, like, dude, I can't keep in enough. I mean, you see me? I've been sitting here drinking this the whole time I've been talking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you chug it, it'll just go through you without absorbing it. So you just gotta. Your body will only absorb so much fluid at one time. The rest will just flush it out. Yeah. But down here, you just go outside and you're sweating it out, and you really rehydrate for the next day. That's how hot it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, man. Even, even some of my cactuses are struggling. It's so damn hot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've
That really speaks to it,
never
man.
had a problem with these cactuses struggling. Never. But, yeah. Because that's my go-to wild edible. Because, man, they taste like okra. And I love me some okra. So the cactus, I don't got to do nothing with it. Don't got to worry about bugs or nothing. I just cut it and boil it. I got videos of me cooking it and eating it. And it's really good.
Nice. Nice.
But here lately, it's like struggling, going, man, we're a cactus, but we do need some water.
Yeah. I got some okra seeds I was going to plant this year, and I never got around to plant. I planted a lot of stuff this year, but I never planted the okra. Only because I wanted to try my hand at making gumbo, because I love gumbo.
Oh,
Oh, I love gumbo. Oh, oh man.
we got a lot in common, brother.
Oh, listen. There's this place down there in Central Florida. I don't know if you know it. This place I went to, right? And it's this pond, right? And the gators are right there off the back of this little restaurant. It's called the Cherry Pocket. And I'll tell you
The
what.
cherry pocket.
Yes,
Dude,
all right.
I can tell you some stories about the cherry pocket.
Ain't that something I know about the Cherry Pocket?
Wow, that blows my mind, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, ain't that something? That is the best gumbo I've ever had right there, is at the Cherry Pocket.
Wow, that restaurant. See, look, my friends are such asses. They would go, okay, you've been to that restaurant and the back screening room that's over the lake?
Yeah.
My buddies would pull up and back up to it with their airboats and then full throttle that airboat and just hose everybody down that back.
That's funny. I mean, it's not, but it is.
Yeah. And then I went, it was some years ago, and I rode across it in a boat with a buddy of mine, and I got off, and there was an orange grove out there, and I'm walking through the orange grove, and I looked down, and I'm like, God almighty, look at all the deer tracks, and damn, there's even bear tracks out here. So I'm like, that's it. We got to go get something. You know what I mean? Mm. And we get something. And next thing you know, I'm out there looking, and I found them. And my buddy, we didn't have the proper tool for the job, but some people just happen to be good at things. And I dropped the deer. And my buddy's like, how in the hell? I was like, dude, I just got that deer. And then I take off running because then the big buck stands up and runs. And I'm running. Buddy's like, where are you going? I'm running trying to get that big buck. And my buddy was quite impressed. He couldn't believe I made that shot.
Yeah. Wow.
But, wasn't my first rodeo. So.
Ain't that something?
I made that shot. He was quite impressed.
I don't know, Full Throttle. I might have to have you up here for some deer hunting in the fall. It's $100 for an out-of-state license. And I got to tell you, you're going to need a license only because the game commission will wander from one property and just walk right across mine. They don't care about no trespassing signs or none of that.
Well.
They got more law under them than a state trooper. That's the truth of it.
Yeah, they do. That's what I was telling my wife, man. They don't need a warrant or nothing if you're hunting to come in on you down here. But that's why I don't get no license or nothing, man.
Yeah.
I don't, and posting stuff on Facebook, that's so stupid.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like from my that was my misspent youth. Back in Cherry Pocket, that was years and years. Hell, that orange grove's probably got houses on it now.
Oh yeah, that's the truth of it. Oh yeah, man. I let's see. I was at the Cherry Pocket in. Oh man, before my daughter was born. So I'd say pre-2008.
That was about the time I was down there busting them deer. And, like I was in Cedar Rapids and made the Cedar Rapids is such an awesome place that I made the front page of the state newspaper because we're riding around there, and man, there were bucks with monster racks just everywhere. And I was just like, I take me to the gun store. And we got a 50 cal. And we're out there with a light, with a 50 cal. And here comes the warden. Got us. And that state is so, I guess, low crime then that was the biggest thing the state newspaper had to report on was 2 Florida men caught fire hunting with a 50 caliber. And that made the front page of the newspaper. So it's just different. There is certain states you can go to, and it's like being in a different country.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it really is. I was quite surprised.
My whole garden is raised bed. My whole garden is like World War II. It really is. It's all raised garden stuff. Done right up in my side yard because I had a piece of side yard that was completely useless to me.
Well,
so
what's that? Where I'm at is questionable. I never know when I'm going to have to exit because I'm on family property, just in probate, and I thought I was going to have to exit a long time ago. But luckily, the family showed me some mercy and is letting me stay out here for now. It's been a while, but I was told you got to get the hell out the property, when your mom goes, and still here so far. But we shall see.
Yeah. It's all just a matter of time for all of us, I guess.
Yeah. But so I'm just riding it out, the property taxes on this 5 acres is over $4,000 a year.
That's crazy.
My grandpa bought this property for $3,000 an acre. Now it values over $100,000 an acre. So now I'm not paying taxes on $3,000 an acre. I'm paying taxes on $100,000 an acre.
Wow. I was going to try to have near a house, but the wife wants to put a mini split AC there. I gotcha.
Yeah, if it's anything like here, you got to have that air conditioner, man. I can't do it. Now, if we have an EMP or a solar flare, not if, but when, I'll just lay in the pool, man. I'll just lay in my swimming pool.
Hey, Full Throttle, hang on in 1 minute. I'll be right back.
All right, brother. Wow. Yeah, you got to have AC in Florida, Texas, or you will stroke out. It's crazy hot.
All right, I'm back.
I literally drank 2 gallons of liquid a day and still fighting dehydration.
Really?
Yes. I've never seen it like this. Even my daughter, I'm like, well, maybe I'm just getting older and it seems hotter, but my daughter's like, no, hell, it ain't. I'm about to have a heat stroke working, So, because she works out in the weather some. And just that little bit of time she spends in the weather, she's calling me on the phone, Dad, I'm dying. I'm like, drink some water. She's like, I'm drinking water. And I'm like, you got to hydrate the day before.
Facts. Really? Facts.
But it's
Yeah, 'cause
hard to
if you're-
do that, when she works so much. The girl, I keep telling her, look, you have to take a day or two off occasionally. You're going to get sick.
Mhm.
But she is such a good mother that, the rest of the family says, oh, to her, you do too much for your kids. And I'm like, that's her call, you know. So she puts in the extra work so she can provide for her kids, because she's a single mom and raising 2 kids on 1 income and living in a regular house and all. Dude, that's a lot on her.
Oh yeah.
Wow, Tamara, that is wow.
What's
Trying
up,
to keep
Shannon? How you doing?
Trying to keep up with the chat. Usually Little Miss Prepper does that.
Yeah, I'm just coming in here to say hi. I have 32 acres of property, and school taxes are about 1,800. Ugh. I have less than half of that, and that's about what my taxes are up here.
I got 5 acres and it's over 4,000.
That's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous.
It is beyond ridiculous.
I don't know, man. Maybe you got to move up north or something and get you out of Florida.
I hate to do it though. I got too many ties here. I got
I hear you, man.
I got my daughter and my good daughter. I got 2 good daughters and 2 that's not so good. I guess pretty good odds nowadays.
Listen, I hate to do this to you, but I got a really important thing I got to take care of that just flashed up on my screen.
That's cool, brother. We've been good for now. We'll go live again, man. We'll talk some more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just everybody stay vigilant. Get ready. Keep your head on the swivel. Prepare. Prep. And remember, you're going to run out of prep, so you got a homestead. Wild edibles for me is the key. Because as I'm watering the garden, I'm like, my God, look at all these wild edibles. So I'll let you wrap it up, brother.
All right. Well, hey, thank you everybody for coming in. Thanks for being in the chat. Thanks for having me. Full Throttle. It's been a pleasure. We're definitely going to have to do it again sometime soon. And I don't know. I am going to definitely be out on the streets of YouTube a little later. Me and Mountain Mama are going live in about an hour and a half. So I'll be back out. I got to charge my phone, take care of this thing real quick, and then I'll be back at it.
I've been trying to get Mountain Mama to join Ladies Not Live. I don't know what's up with her. I guess I just...
A lot of stuff going on in her life right now. She kind of had to step away from doing the lives and everything for a little bit. So we haven't.
I had to too. I had to take a break.
We haven't we didn't do our last 2 podcasts that we usually do every Wednesday and Saturday because she's got things going on. McFly has things going on, and I'm gonna be honest, I just don't want to do the podcast by myself.
But man, you can do them.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I'll see if this Wednesday. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it this Wednesday, just because this week's real busy for me. So,
well, just hit me up. You know how to get a hold of me, and just let me know.
Yep, absolutely.
I shoot from the hip. I shoot from the hip, brother. So anytime.
Peace, everybody. I'll catch you later.
Later, brother. Love y'all.
Later.
Later.